I hope you all had a good New Year's Eve and New Year's Day because, yes, it is now the end of 2025. And as we sail into 2026, seeing what it can bring us, I have to stop for you guys to give you now my best of 2025 films by yours truly. Now, I want to make this clear real quick. I know that there are going to be people who will disagree with my list or say that a movie sucks for them or thinks it's terrible. First of all, this is my list only. And if you guys have a different list or if you just want to tell me what your favorite movie was, leave a comment down below. I want to hear from you all. And please consider giving a like on this video. Really appreciate it because I really love talking about movies to you all because I truly do. It is my passion, it is my love. That is what I enjoy doing. Before we get into my best of 2025 movies, I want to give some honorable mentions. Now, these are movies that I gave 7 out of 10s for, and I couldn't fit them on my best of list, so apologies for that, but I still want to give them a shout out because these were movies that I watched that I wouldn't necessarily say were 100% perfect, but hey, I still enjoyed them, and if you just want something to watch that I think was at least enjoyable, I recommend it to you if you just want to watch something that is like nothing super spectacular, but just at least entertainment fun. So to start off our honorable mentions, we have Predator, Killer of Killers, From the World of John Wick, Ballerina, Jurassic World Rebirth, Eddington, Nobody 2, The Smashing Machine, Roofman, Springsteen, Deliver Me from Nowhere, Wicked for Good, and Jay Kelly. Congratulations to those movies. Even though you weren't 100% perfect, you at least were enjoyable and to help me get through 2025 as best as you can because, yeah, last year was something, but hey, at the very least, you kept me entertained and you kept me enjoying what I love doing. So thank you for that. But now, with that said, here are now the best of 2025 movies. Part 1, I might add, because yes, this is a long list. Stay with me. We'll get through this. Number 20. I know I said when I reviewed this movie that I have an issue with its story and its social commentary, especially retroactively looking upon this said conflict that this movie portrays. And while I do have that issue, I cannot deny Warfare definitely was a movie that really had a lot of technical quality to it that made it at the very least still sustainable to watch. Because what Alex Garland and Ray Mendoza managed to bring with regards to how this movie looks and feels and how it is trying to capture that moment that Ray Mendoza had felt in that said situation. Amazing. It is incredible to see how much, even when I have my issue with it, I gotta give respect to a lot of the technicality that went into this movie because the sound quality in this movie is phenomenal. Is that stellar? There is amazing performances, even if some people could say, well, it's military jargon. At the very least, the actors are actually trying to convey what a lot of military personnel say in real life. And yeah, there's just incredible sequences in this movie that are so intense. And again, both Ray Mendoza and Alex Garland managed to direct something that was at least tension filled and kept things at least interesting, even if the actual substance wasn't always that strong, in my opinion, and doesn't justify what war was. I can at least appreciate the technical aspects of it. Number 19. So, Denzel Washington, an amazing actor, and then you combine him with Spike Lee. What do you get? You have something like Highest to Lowest, a movie that I found really exciting and enjoyable to watch, but also just reflective of the music industry. How much it has changed, how it's evolved, how it's shown us how generations have been affected with how music is and how it has really capitalized on what it means to stay true to who you are even as you grow and become successful. And that is what Spike Lee did. He managed to make a film that was thrilling in trying to show how this music mogul was trying to go on through this ransom exchange situation. And Denzel Washington, entertaining as always. He's energetic. And yeah, Spike Lee is at the top of his game. He shows how much he loves New York. He goes around the city like constantly, and you could feel that. And that is what Spike Lee did. He managed to make a film that was something that he wanted to do. He took a story that is from a Japanese movie and just made it so American to where it fits his style and tone, and I really dug the hell out of this movie. And yeah, it's just crazy to me that even still, Spike Lee is still able to give me something that I can still be invested in. Number 18. In a time when autism is the subject of a lot of things and still being talked about, I'll at least be happy knowing that, hey, at least The Accountant 2 is at least showing autism that isn't stupid or so stereotypical to where it's just making a mockery out of it. And also you have a buddy action flick, okay? You have Ben Affleck, John Bernthal. What more can you ask? And for as much as I enjoyed the first movie, I think this movie actually improves upon it and makes it better because it is that element. It is just having these two brothers who are coming back into each other's lives and just learning to respect one another, but also trying to kick ass at the same time. And yeah, for as much as, some of the autism can get a little bit, crazy, I will say I would take this so much more than it being a mockery or trying to diminish people into how they see themselves, because at the very least, hey, Ben Affleck may not be autistic, but he is sure not making them feel stupid in that way. Number 17. What do you get when you mix Brad Pitt, Cars, and the director of Top Gun Maverick? Well, you get F1. It is astonishing on how much this movie is 100% just Top Gun with cars, okay? But it's crazy enough to think how much, even for a racing movie, it could still be great to watch. I just never thought that would be the case. It has amazing car sequences, some beautiful cinematography shots, even in the car or outside of the car, is just great and grand. You also have a score from Hans Zimmer that just captures the macho racing vibe of it, but it's just really how Joseph Krasinski was able to make this just be Top Gun, but for cars. But hey, at the very least, it was a lot of fun to watch. And then, yeah, you have Brad Pitt. I mean, come on. What more can you ask for? And with a story that you could say isn't super amazing, it was still at least entertaining to watch, to see Brad Pitt, this washed up driver, teaching this young rookie driver how to just humble himself and to see how racing should be. Nothing like it. And I think to a lot of people, it is probably some of the best movie going experience to a lot. And I found this movie to be quite entertaining on that level. Number 16. Darren Aronofsky. He's been out of the game for a little bit, but hey, at least he can come back and do something cool, and he did with Caught Stealing. I mean, you get Austin Butler, you also have Lee Schreiber, Vincent D'Onofrio, Zoe Kravitz, I mean, Matt Smith. It's just great seeing that even like a crime thriller like this can still be fun to watch. I just found myself just laughing and having a good time with it, and just seeing Austin Butler just try to get himself out of this situation. For as much as he shouldn't be in this mess, he's just trying to find a way to get out of it. And I found this movie to be just fun to watch. You have great direction from Darren Aronofsky, gorgeous cinematography, some pretty thrilling chase sequences as well. There's just something to be had with a crime thriller, and this movie just checks all the boxes, and not in a way that is just bad, but more so just really entertaining. Number 15. I understand that Warner Brothers does only IPs, okay, of their franchise. I understand that completely. I do. And while this is technically still kind of based on an IP because it is based off of a book, I'll at least take Mickey 17 as being still an original IP, okay? Because this movie was reflective of how things are today, okay? For as much as you try to ignore or at least find something to hide the shame and guilt, or at the very least the humility in which we find ourselves in the world, or at least the US does, hey, at least Bong Joon-ho knows how to make a mockery out of it. You have an amazing performance by Robert Pattinson, I should say dual roles, because he is so convincing as these two versions of Mickey Barnes that I found myself really glued to and just fascinated to watch his story just unfold. You have another amazing performance out of Mark Ruffalo. There's just something to be said about how this movie looks. It makes a mockery with social commentary about dictatorship and colonialism. That's all I need, and I found myself really loving this. Number 14. So going into this, for as much as there was a lot of build up to it, I was still a little bit nervous, especially with the new leadership in position. I was like, please, if you're restarting a universe, just please be good. Please, especially with this one having failed already, I really am hoping for the best. Even though there were minor signs of good things about it, I'm at least happy to report that Superman, oh, thank God. You at least gave me a Superman I cared about. For once, thank you, James Gunn, because Zack Snyder couldn't do it for me, and yet James Gunn managed to do it in one single movie. Be like, here's a Superman. All right, is he gonna be boring? No, he's not, and he's relatable. Okay, thank you, because yeah, I found this movie to just be a ton of fun to watch. Not only just because of the fact that James Gunn just instilled a lot of life into Superman that so many people were telling me was missing from Zack Snyder, and I really felt like I was missing out because all I got was Zack Snyder's crap. But thankfully, James Gunn reinvigorated that. You have an amazing performance out of David Corn Sweat, and I hope he has a bright future now that he's Superman, and hopefully it can lead to better roles for him. But you also have Nicholas Hoult. I mean, the cast here is just having a fun time. You can tell how much James Gunn really wanted to pay homage to not only Richard Donner and Christopher Reeves' films, but he just wanted to make a superhero movie that was just fun at nature and was all about just helping people, seeing the good in people. That's what we need more than ever. In this day and age, we need to see more of the good in ourselves because, man, this movie has shown that we need to start treating people with kindness and fight against those that want to burn it down and destroy it. And Superman was able to deliver on that. Number 13. When it comes to a movie series, you never think that by the third movie it could still hold up, that we start to lose steam and we start to kind of run out of ideas and not make it as stellar as it once did. But I'll always say Wake Up Dead Men, even though it is my least favorite of the trilogy now, I can at least say I have a solid one at best because these movies just show me how much the murder mystery genre can still be fun and entertaining to watch. Again, Daniel Craig, there's no question about it. This man is just so delightful to watch. Even though I have my issues with the characters of this movie, I still think the cast is still solid. You have an amazing performance. Josh O'Connor, this is my first time seeing him. You also have Glenn Close and also Josh Brolin, especially him being a Monsignor of a church and how he talks about his private life. Yeah. But Rian Johnson still delivers. He tries to showcase why the murder mystery genre can still be fun, even if some people could say, well, it's predictable. Why does anybody care? At least Rian Johnson just can still keep it as fun as it can, even if you could say, well, it's not wholly original, because that's the point. It's leaning into the stupidity and the absurdity. And I do like the fact that this movie does tackle faith, how people of religious faith are so taking the words of what a book or what has been passed down for centuries and twisting it into their own ways when really it is supposed to be about the simplicity of it, not by being attackers but defenders and hopeful people in religion. That is the whole point. And Rian Johnson, he delivered on that. He is still easily one of the best people out there with regards to making solo projects and things that he wants to make. I respect a lot from this man, and I hope he continues, even if it is stopping for now. I am still hopeful that this man continues to still get the projects that he wants to make, especially in a day and age where you have a lot of IPs and franchises running him out. I give a lot of respect in that way. Number 12. Just when you thought the whole thing about Marvel is dead thing back and forth 100%, even after Captain America Brave New World, hey, Thunderbolts came out of nowhere and said, here you go. Like, that's what it did. I was surprised because I was a little bit hesitant, especially with the marketing for this movie. They were so pushing the whole idea of like, well, we got people from A24, and I said, don't do that because you're just going to shoot yourself in the foot. And, well, I can say I'm glad I'm proven wrong because, wow, I'm surprised Marvel actually, did something for once that was actually substantial because, yeah, you have amazing performances from the cast. Jake Schreier definitely directed this well enough to where I'm glad that he will be doing X-Men because he balanced out everybody in this movie. The fact that this film also tackles depression in a way where it's so relatable to me that I just found myself loving the character of Bob, played by Lewis Pullman. So there is something to be had with this movie, even if Marvel right now is still in hot waters and kind of going teeter-tottering back and forth, and especially with Doomsday on the horizon. At the very least, hey, we at least got a great Marvel movie to at least take away from it. So, hey, I'll take that as a win. Number 11. Remakes, live action adaptations of animated properties too. I mean, yeah, I know it's everywhere. Disney's notorious for that, but I'll at least say this: How to Train Your Dragon did so much better because at the very least they were able to just kind of stay close to what the original source material was and just translate it. It's kind of like it's not that hard to do. And yeah, I think everyone who plays their animated counterparts here, they're all fantastic. Mason Thames, I mean, he does invoke what Hiccup is. Nico Park is Astrid. I don't care what anybody tells me. And seeing, of course, Gerard Butler back in this role in live action format was kind of cool. But it's just knowing that even if the runtime for this movie, I do think is too long, I can at least be happy knowing, hey, at least this is a remake that doesn't stray too far from it, nor is it just being a one-to-one shot copy and paste. It's more so it'll take things, but it'll at least try to be like, all right, we're not gonna, just make this be like, all right, we need to follow this scene to a template. It's at the very least like being like, all right, we'll do close to this, but we'll kind of make it so that way it's not too far from it. So either way, at the very least, it was just nice knowing that a movie that is 15 years old that I saw when I was like 9 or 10 years old be amazing even in 2025. I'll take it. So far, that is now part one. I will give you guys soon my part two of best of 2025, so stay tuned for that and other reviews coming soon.